meeting to order at 5:35. The first order of business are the minutes from our February 5th meeting. I would entertain a motion to accept them.
So moved.
I'll second. Thank you, Tom and Clyde. Any discussion? Cheyenne, on the very last paragraph under VI, there will be no select board meeting on Monday, March. It should be March, not February.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just a general thing, John, I haven't seen anything from Stacy under new business item 2. Tom made a motion that we direct the chair to sign the letter from the Board of Listeners regarding the is that referring to Stacy, or is that referring?
Yeah, she was supposed to provide us with the letter.
The letter that she had referenced when she presented.
Yeah. So that's still outstanding.
Yeah, I have not. Yeah, I've not.
Okay.
Can follow.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just a point of order, we are down to 3 today. Jim Riley is away, and Mandy had stepped away from the board. I appreciate Tom from rushing back from Montpelier. I just came in from the Manchester airport. So we're a little jittery up here. Next item of business are the orders through today, February 20th. Entertain a motion to accept them. I'll move we pay the orders through today. Thank you, Clyde. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Tom. Any discussion? John or Martin, are we near the end of our ordering from Cargill with the salt?
Probably not till the end of March.
Okay. And you both have told me this, but when is the contract up with CCI?
I don't know when it's up. It's a good question. I have a meeting with them this Friday, so we can talk about that.
Good.
So do we have another truck breakdown by is it a bad breakdown or just a temporary?
Bent drive shaft and cracked transfer case.
Oh my.
A road accident?
No, I'm not. I think
Just broke?
Which truck?
the red F550, the one we just put the engine in.
3 weeks.
And
It's out 3 weeks?
Yeah.
did we get the particulate filter, the diesel filter fixed?
They're working on that.
Okay. That rich truck, I think we should sell it. Wow.
So how many trucks do you have now?
We're down to 2
Yeah, we're down to.
and 1 guy.
Right.
All right. And that payment to GPI, that's wrap-up work?
So, that was an invoice that we should have got back in October.
Okay. And the small payment to Sheehy for Long and the third lawyer is ongoing work with the Sunny.
Yes.
Is that
Okay,
the,
so apparently, sorry, I'm trying to listen to the Hartland meeting at the same time. Apparently, she just emailed and she said she did your edits and that's how it's gonna run, so that's probably gonna. Well.
Tom, you were saying?
okay.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? All in favor of approving the warrants through February 20th, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, unanimous. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
None from me.
Okay, none for aye. Okay, public comments. I would like to publicly thank Dean Greenberg, who's stepping off the Conservation Commission after numerous years. So I hope he stays on overseeing the bog, which he's been doing, but if the board is okay, I'd like to write a thank you note to him.
Sure.
Going on to old business, the first item is the North Hartland School Committee. I don't have the number right off the top of my head, but we had a good meeting this last week. And the group did some brainstorming. I'm glad you can fill in here. And our next meeting is actually at the schoolhouse, where we'll be doing a site visit to better understand it. I think there was a wide range of things mentioned, from let's sell it to let's figure out if it can, what's entailed to have it fixed. There were a number of community uses that were speculated.
Yeah, they brought up things that can be done, but cases, if it's gonna be a public building, bringing it up to standard. And that's the big question.
Yeah. So I think that's part of the next step of actually physically going to the building and having the full group see it on that part. Any other thoughts or comments on that? Okay. Moving on, the next item is the town meeting. Martin and John, things are coming together for the budget presentation.
Yep, things are coming together. I think it's, yeah,
Okay.
we're trying to take to heart what we've heard from the board in terms of, you know, what you're looking for.
I think we're in agreement that we're trying to stick it to a high level.
Right.
With the budget presentation.
Yeah.
The three items that are need to be explained is the cost of living tied to the New England index, as well as the insurance.
Yeah.
What it means to the increase in policing, and the increase in paving are the three things that come quickly to mind.
Wait, sure.
I think it's pretty clear with the paving to us, seeing that we're trying to repave roads about a mile a year, and that cost has gone from just a few years ago, about 180 to now the 280 on that part. So, and we have a lot of potholes to address. Last year as a board, we took the time to thank the volunteers of the various town committees and town organizations. I don't necessarily want to repeat that. I'm very grateful of people's work. Is there other items as a board that we would want to mention or do other than the regular course of the meeting?
We probably should give them an update on the Three Corners intersection. What do you think?
Yeah,
Where we're at?
yeah, we will have,
I can put together a couple of slides on.
yeah, we
current
are
status
going to,
and
under
where
new
things
business, we'll
Yep.
update everyone on where we are. All of
No,
it.
but I'm talking about it for town meeting.
For town meeting,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
As well, I mean, you know,
So I think there are two things there, would be, are we complete, or four things, three things? There are some open items that will be addressed in the spring.
Right.
We have the saga of the utility poles, and that's, we're working to have clarity. We'll be discussing that later. The intersection lights.
Yeah, in the lines.
So, on that part. Yeah, I do like the idea that we have, we can project a slide that would show actually the location of the lights.
Sure.
So people are clear that they are lights at the pedestrian crossings.
I think, you know, maybe everything doesn't have to necessarily just be budget related, that we can almost do like a state of the town. And even, I think we should let people know about our building report that we got, so that they're not surprised in out years when we come to them and say, we need to be spending X number of dollars. Not that we've made any decisions, but we are trying to do a lot more long-term capital planning here. And that as for the result of that, here's some of the things that the town is going to be needing to address in the future.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think we necessarily have to get into the nitty-gritty of it, but you know, these are some fairly significant projects that we're going to be taking on.
Right, and the original architectural studies, we've been using the ARPA monies, so
Right.
people would want to know where.
Oh,
That's one of the things we said we're going to do, and we're doing that. Yeah, and I would say we could all dovetail in there the fact that we're looking at the schoolhouse in North Hartland.
Right,
At the same time.
yep.
The pole property will be addressed by the Conservation Commission, because that's a separate article.
Right.
On the part. And
I guess a few words on what's the status of our policing and where we've been.
yeah,
You know, we went through this long-term effort, and
right, yeah.
so, and we have additional monies in there, but we don't have a contract, so I think it's appropriate for us to let them know what we've been trying to do. And
Yes, yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah, we can do an update on,
yeah,
you know, kind of the status of like the state of town, where things stand as of, you know,
yeah,
town meeting day.
Right. Just so my colleagues know, John has met with the new representative from the Vermont State Police and has been discussing with Tom General some next steps.
yeah,
Then we can do it, you know, at a high level
yeah,
for folks.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, and then I think there is a meeting with the town moderator coming up next week.
Next week.
Okay.
Next week, yeah, correct.
And what day is it?
I don't,
This is
the
a,
same day.
this is a
as
select
the,
board?
You're welcome to come. No, it's not a select board meeting.
Oh, it's not a select.
it's not,
board.
no, it's not, a
Oh,
select-
oh,
it's
okay.
a,
Okay.
it's just a sit down. to
No,
make
don't
sure.
worry about it.
Okay, correct.
Okay. Okay, moving on, the next agenda item is the Hartland Public Library. Back up a little bit. There are two grant opportunities that have emerged that seem applicable to our library. One, our energy committee brought to our attention in the last year, if not longer. That's the Municipal Energy Resilience Program. And the second is the Capital Projects Grant Program. The library represented by Tracy, Becca Warren, and Dana, who Dana's last name, have a meeting with Harry Falconer, and recently John and I attended the last meeting. We're looking at the MERP to redo because there has to be done under one of the guise of the state provided energy auditor, energy audits of the library and the rec center. And those have been approved and are scheduled, should be scheduled.
To be scheduled by May 31st,
Okay.
not currently scheduled.
And we hope that that will result in monies that we can use for some of the items on the list, which include weatherization, insulation, HVAC, and we also then have additional items that fall under the category probably of the capital project grant. So it's exciting to have possible monies made available. And one of the things we need to do tonight is both the library trustees as well as the select board are being asked to write a letter to the commissioner and state librarian of the head library person, saying how we would like this project to be, how we feel these project monies would help our library. The kinds of things that the capital grant is looking at is increased internet usage. We've dovetailed that into the health of the community, things like the sidewalk and the library and paving, to make it paving the whole front parking area to make it ADA accessible. Supporting, this would enable more educational programs and the like. I took a real rough stab at it, at that letter, and then what else do we have in our packet?
You have a letter for that's the utilities letter.
Okay, that's the utility.
That's the
So
utility.
we don't have that.
Okay.
Correct.
So, John, fill in the cracks there. What's
So the MERP grant that the town has currently to do the assessments, that we'll get those reports, my understanding is sometime midsummer. And then there's like a second phase of that MERP grant that you can do those weatherization type projects with. The capital grants is a much broader scope. So again, like Phil said, you know, you can do HVAC, you can do, structural components, you know, the library's talked about the, you know, whether the lift is still fully functional or not, they want, whether it should be replaced. Yeah, interior, exterior renovations, the parking lot, so it's a bigger pot of money, and it has a broader scope, so hopefully, like, the MERP grant is also looking at the rec center too, not just the
Yes.
library. So,
Right. And the capital project grant are actually ARPA monies that the state has held specifically for the purpose of improving libraries in the state. So those are, it's really a very narrow target.
yeah, correct, there's significantly more money in the capital grants, but that's, you know, the end of the year.
So I'll work on this draft and get it to everyone. I believe we need to send it in by March 12th. So we'll have another meeting before it's due. And concurrently, the library trustees are working on one as well. Mark, we've been involved with this since the summer. Is there anything you would want to add to?
No, I think you guys got it covered
Okay.
right on the back.
I'd be happy to try to answer any questions, but I'm not sure there's anything. Under new business, we now have the letter that's in our packet. As we all know, the utilities are giving us different information almost every week about what the status is for the wires on the telephone poles, what's underground, what's not underground, what bottlenecks there are. There's finger pointing between the various companies. So we decided at the last meeting that we would draft a letter to each of the players. And in that letter, basically say we want a plan by a certain date. I'm not going to, I have the dates here. And then we want action by a certain date. And the piece that isn't in the letter that I feel isn't necessary is if the action, they don't complete that work by the dates prescribed, then we're going, or they don't have the plans by the dates prescribed, we're going to the Public Service Commission.
Right, that's one of the big outstanding questions. So what you have in your packet was the rough draft letter that we got from V.S.A. at Two Rivers. And then I put on the table I printed out a copy of Tom's comments that he had provided back to the board.
Okay.
That's this marked up one.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so one of the big outstanding questions then for me is whether you want to include the language like you were just talking about, Phil, at the end of the letter. If we don't see significant or substantive action by the dates listed, here's our next step.
Yeah, I feel we've been dancing with these folks, trying our best to be polite. And I'm exhausted from it. So, but I would rely on the experience of my two colleagues here to say, what do you think we should do?
Oh, I agree with you. I think it's a pretty wimpy letter, given what we've gone through.
Okay.
And that I think the last thing should be, if we don't hear from you, we should probably have legal counsel do the letter to the PUC and not just be the select board.
Yeah.
That we would be contacting legal counsel and providing a letter to the PUC.
Okay.
Voicing our concerns.
Okay. I can
Just to let them know we're serious about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my last paragraph is, please note that if any of the above dates are not met by your company, the town of Heartland will engage with its lawyers and contact the PUC. I really don't understand the second sentence in here.
So, in reading the packet over the weekend, I just felt that the draft letter could use some work. And so I just reorganized some of the things. So things in yellow are new.
Yeah,
And then there are some things that are struck out.
yeah.
So, that's,
That's great.
Yeah.
My question really is that both the old and the new are saying, beginning on August 23rd, the town had weekly utility status reports from our project managers. Weren't we getting those as early as the first week of June?
so I don't know the dates. I wasn't involved.
Right.
I'm just,
So this would have been penned by Rita.
Yeah, no, yeah, nor do I, which is why, when Rita and I sat down, we talked about, because she had been kind of the project manager on the three corners.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we need to clarify what the
Right.
intent of that sentence is, because I have a feeling the date with the reports goes back to the very beginning of this project.
I mean, we could make it more generic, just say since the beginning of the project, the town has had utility meetings, right? Instead of getting to a specific date or when we
could. I
started,
think
or,
there's benefit to, it's been, 10 months or whatever.
That's what
it
I'm
is.
saying, yeah.
Yeah, I think that the critical component is that we need to see action by these date certain points. The first paragraph is really giving us a little bit of background.
So, do you mind?
Go ahead.
So, if you look at the letter where the next sentence after the strikeouts, I didn't even know I don't know what change management is.
It is apparently the system that the utilities use to coordinate their efforts.
But is that First Light system or all the utilities?
That is unclear to me.
So it's noted that the utilities, and then we just have First Light. So is it the utility, First Light? Are we talking about all the utilities? I didn't,
I see that, yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
okay.
Right, and then we go on to say that, oh yeah, Green Mountain Tower is waiting on something with Mascoma as well, so it's.
Right. Excuse me.
I'm.
Then,
And John, what was, Logan, give us an exact update of the Dunn property. It's not really the balls. They were here.
I think that one is done.
Yeah.
The dump property is now complete, from my understanding, from when we met with Logan.
So
at
we should
GMP.
clarify that.
Correct, yeah, I think this came in the same day that we had that meeting.
Okay.
One of the other questions is, Tom, thank you for the edits to it. April 30th is, over 9 weeks away. Do we want to provide, that much lead time to them, given that it's been kind of hanging over the town's head for almost a year?
Did you say no?
no, April 1st. I mean, end of March.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think you might have picked the date kind of at random, but I think we would potentially benefit from moving that up a little bit.
Actually, I took that from the one that I struck out.
Oh, yes,
Hello,
yeah.
it's April 30th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So are we saying April 1st to give us the schedule?
Yep.
Okay,
I think that's reasonable.
and then what is the completion date?
So with the my understanding is that when they submit a change, that the change management order, it takes them about 30 to 60 days, and they're required to like communicate that with all the affected people. So I think that there's the from April 1st, it might need to be, you know, somewhere on the order of like 45 days or so to give them enough time to actually do the work. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shoot the messenger. But, again, that goes to the question that Tom put on the table. Whose change management process is this? Is this a universal process, or is this?
Yeah, right.
We don't know. So that could be just blowing smoke there. I would say let's have it tight as schedule as possible and make them come back to us to say, here are reasons why we can't make it. And we can then decide if it's those.
When we have a completion date of August 15th.
How about the 4th, July 3rd?
Well, if he needs 60 days,
If they do require 60 days, that gives them April and May.
but they're not doing the change management then, they're giving us their
Oh,
schedule.
that's true. Right, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, I think
Fine.
we could go, because there's the 4th of July
tell 'em,
celebration,
like,
right?
Yeah,
We want it done by, you know,
I just thought how festive it would be.
yeah, 4th of July.
yeah. And again, they could come back and we can talk about that. And if they say that's, for these reasons, we cannot achieve that, but we need until we can do it on August 1st.
Yeah, and
That,
we would want clear documentation.
Agreed. agreed. But
Okay, so
we set
what-
the
what-
target. And we
So
can-
help me with the dates and what we just decided
We're April 1st.
to hear back from them.
With the schedule.
Okay,
With the schedule,
should be completed by,
What, I think.
4th of July.
Yeah, so July 3rd. So it's done for everything else.
okay,
And how long will this take? Anybody have any? Martin, do you know how long it'll take them to do this?
I don't know.
Green Mountain Power has got their towers in the ground right now.
Correct.
And they're waiting for the other players so that they can coordinate the.
I believe they have to contact the customers and give the customers timeframe when they're gonna cut the power, and if everybody agrees, they're okay, but if one person says no, they gotta restart the clock. Is how it was explained to me.
Interesting. Okay.
So, isn't First Light the company that welds the fiber optic together?
No, I think First Light used to be Solid.
Yeah, they're the 911, they're the main trunk that goes through the whole state of Vermont.
There's multiple fiber companies here.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, we have Comcast and V.S.A. and.
Right.
Okay, well, this is great that we have this. Does anyone feel we should run it by legal counsel at this juncture?
No.
Or just get it out?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I can make those updates and send it back out to the board.
Great.
okay, excellent. Thank you, John.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Okay. Town manager.
So a handful of things. So there's been a couple of calls over the past week that have come into the town hall about needles being found on the side of the road. So, and there's a very unclear line of who does what when that happens. We were talking today whether that's melting snow, you know, who knows what's been buried in the snowbank. So we're trying to come up with a plan so it's not just, we don't just punt it to somebody else. And one of the ideas is to get, you know, Sharps containers for highway trucks or something. You know, we can order those from Amazon or whomever.
Is it just one area or multiple areas?
I don't know that we have the addresses of the areas, but it sounds like it might be multiple areas.
No.
So it's something that we probably should be thinking about addressing, especially as spring progresses.
Okay,
We are moving forward with both Heritage and Pathways for the Queechee Road and the North Hartland Bridge. We met with Pathways and we have a schedule shortly after town meeting to go out and drive the road with them. And we should have contracts soon from both of them, signed contracts with both of them soon. With Phil, you were just talking about it. We met with Green Mountain Power about the lights. We're kind of, it's still in a waiting pattern from them now in terms of Logan Hazard, who's with Green Mountain Power, is going to give us some more information on their like leasing program versus buying. What are our options and more specific costs? Because it was, when we met last week, it was kind of in general. Here's where we might be.
And we'll have that for town meeting.
I will send it along again, if I don't hear anything by the end of the week, to make sure we have that.
All right, and we did also went to the vendor that's popping up as an example of the lights, and then we found out who the distributor was, and I reached out to them on Friday last week, haven't heard back.
Right. We talked about the F-550, the other truck that's out is still at Reed. We expect that they're waiting for the plow and the plow hitch parts, but once those come in and get installed, we will have that truck back operational. So then we'd be down one truck and one person.
Tell me again what the 1-ton Ford, what's the problem with that one, the red truck?
Bent drive shaft and cracked transfer case. And he's found a used transfer case that's gonna save us a lot of money and just swap the guns.
Yeah.
Because the guys just so good in the transfer case.
There's a drive shaft.
You gotta replace the drive shaft.
Okay, it can't be tuned.
No.
Okay.
So a couple of the small things, the Jennyville culvert, we expect that to that'll get posted at the end of this week on the 26th. And then they have 30 days and we'll do the bid opening at the end of March. So that project is moving along. And then
Where are you posting it?
it's gonna get posted in the local newspapers. It's gonna get sent directly to some a select list of contractors that Two Rivers maintains. It's also gonna go online at the Vermont Bid Registry. Yep. And Bill and I have been talking, we're given the long-term weather forecasts, trying to get the roads posted potentially next week, because the end of next week looks like we're gonna hit a stretch of, 4 or 5 days of above freezing temperatures, both high and low. So it's early, but I think, post the roads before the damage is done.
Yeah, there was a piece I caught on the radio while I was traveling today. Was it Duxbury?
Yeah, it was in Duxbury. I heard the same, yeah.
Yeah, just basically saying we're out of material and our
Right.
budget doesn't have any more till.
West Windsor's posted already.
Yeah, and I believe Woodstock is, I've heard that Woodstock is posted, so it's okay in some spots, but where the sun's getting the road is pretty soft. So, and then one other thing, and this is, we've had a couple of construction permits come in the past week or so it's out there. It's, we're getting the notice, so I think I've done 2 in the past 3 days, so that's good.
Excellent. Certainly the fee is pretty modest and it's more of the.
Especially compared to the construction costs.
Right. $10 isn't so bad.
Right.
It's pretty manageable.
Yeah.
That's it for me, just the highlights.
Okay, my hands are shaking here. Is there any correspondence?
No.
Okay. Then we have an executive session.
Yeah.
I
Here's the language.
You have the right to, yes, Bruce.
When you mentioned the library and the rec center and energy audit, were you talking about actually getting the work done that the audit done?
We have the previous energy audits, and this new grant requires us to actually use, to re-audit essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna have,
Oh, my goodness.
we're gonna have 2.5 audits for the library, because we never really got the final documents in, as you know. And I'm not sure with the rec center on that part.
And you have someone to do these things?
So the MERP program has their own vendors,
Oh,
so we don't have choice.
okay.
They're assigned.
Are they Efficiency Vermont approved?
Yeah, oh, yeah, we're all that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting for this to finally come around, that we actually could use to maybe get some of that work done.
Well, they'll be very well audited.
Yeah. Okay, good, thank you. So I need a motion with the right
Yeah, I got it.
statute.
You have it?
The statutory reference for executive session,
Yes.
it's on the bottom of the agenda.
No,
No,
we
there's a-
gotta say the whole thing. Trying to get my laptop to work, I'm down to like 0. See,
I think we would have done it last.
we didn't leave it.
Correspondence.
Yeah. I guess you could ask for proposals up there, but what, couple of them is
She focuses.
Uh-oh. Did you lose it? Do we need,
So I make a motion that we go into executive session according to 1 V.S.A. 313, subsection 313A6.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
See you, Martin.
Good night, everyone.
take care, Martin. See you
Say
tomorrow.
hey.
All in favor, say aye.
Unlock.
Thanks.
Okay. We're back. Tom, would you try a motion?
Sure. I make a motion that we provide $600 for a request through the Merrill Campbell Fund.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Clyde. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, motion to
It was
adjourn.
like, we should adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Should-